Oh, it's an accident. It was all a big mistake. YouTube was deleting comments, they probably still are, that make fun of the Chinese Communist Party. And it was just a big mistake. Everybody calm down. YouTube wasn't protecting the Chinese Communist Party. Huh. Pretty weird, right? YouTube is deleting comments with two phrases that insult China's Communist Party. These Chinese language phrases are removed within seconds, and YouTube confirmed it. You get the joke. They were trying to argue that it was a big mistake. Let's read this, and then let's talk about China. Now, this is sort of an addendum to the segment I did earlier today, because I did mention this, but now we'll dive in. YouTube is automatically deleting comments that contains certain Chinese language phrases related to criticism of the country's ruling Communist Party, CCP. The company confirmed to The Verge this was happening in error and that it was looking into the issue. I am not going to advocate for people taking these symbols and posting them anywhere. That is not the point of this. Quote, "This appears to be an error in our enforcement systems and we are investigating," said a YouTube spokesperson. The company did not elaborate on how or why this error came to be, but said it was not the result of any change in its moderation policy. But if the deletions are the result of a simple mistake, then it's one that's gone unnoticed for 6 months. The Verge found evidence that the comments were being deleted as early as October 2019, when the issue was raised on YouTube's official help pages, and multiple users confirmed they'd experienced the same problem. Comments left under videos or in live streams that contain the words Communist Bandit or 50-Cent Party are automatically deleted in about 15 seconds, though their English language translations and Romanized pinyin equivalents are not. The term, okay, first of all, I can't read this. It just shows me the two symbols. The term, whatever, is an insult that dates back to China's nationalist government, while this phrase in Chinese, or Wu Mao, I guess, is a derogatory slang term for internet users paid to direct online discussion away from criticism of the CCP. The name comes from claims that such commenters are paid 50 Chinese cents per post. These phrases seem to have been accidentally added to YouTube's comment filters. Why do they keep saying it's an accident? And why am I supposed to believe it's an accident? We all remember that Google was working on a project with China. Maybe that's when it got added in. Maybe somebody working for Google is loyal to the Chinese Communist Party. That wouldn't surprise me. Maybe they added it in. Let's see. They say these phrases seem to have been accidentally added. Yeah. Which into its filters, which automatically remove spam and offensive text. The comments are removed too quickly for human moderation and are deleted even if the banned phrases are used positively, e.g., the blank are doing a fantastic job. YouTube says it's been relying more on its automated filters in recent months due to changes to its workforce brought about by the pandemic. The accidental censorship is even more puzzling considering that YouTube is currently blocked in China. Wait, what? This is awesome. Giving its parent company Google even less reason to censor comments critical of the CCP or apply moderation systems in accordance with Chinese censorship laws. Look, man, Mike Pompeo said that the Chinese have infiltrated the United States. We've seen a ton of people who are associated with various universities giving away information, being in on the take, getting paid by China. It would not be surprising to me, especially considering YouTube's past work, like they've done like big jobs and have tried to please China. It wouldn't be surprising to me at all if there are people within Google who are sympathetic to China and would absolutely put these in on purpose. How do you accidentally add two specific phrases criticizing the Communist Party in your filter program? Sorry, doesn't sound like an accident. They say the automatic deletion of these phrases was highlighted on Tuesday by U.S. technologist and former Oculus founder Palmer Luckey on Twitter. But early reports of the issue date back to the middle of May, when they were spotted by human rights activist Jennifer Zhang. As mentioned above, though, The Verge also found complaints on YouTube's official help pages dated to October 2019. I'm pretty sure Jennifer Zhang, too, had her YouTube channel removed from the partner program. I could be wrong about that. She tweeted, YouTube automatically deletes a comment in Chinese, Gongfei, which means communist bandit. In 15 seconds, this person tested 3 times, same results. And then it looks like she posts the same thing in Chinese. Google has frequently been criticized for accommodating the wishes of the CCP by censoring content. Most notably, it created a prototype search engine known as Project Dragonfly that complied with Chinese state censorship. The project, which was never deployed, is part of the company's long-running struggles to enter the Chinese market. Listen, if Google is going to be working on projects, publicly or privately, to help China in their censorship efforts, of course they're going to do things negative to us in their pursuit of expanded profits. And as China becomes a larger and larger market and gains more power internationally, many of these companies are bending over backwards to defend the Chinese Communist Party. So please spare us and stop insulting our intelligence when you claim it was just a big mistake. It was an accident. We didn't really mean to defend the Chinese Communist Party, much like the NBA and other video game companies have already done. We get it, man. You want that sweet, sweet money, that sweet, sweet Skrilla coming from this other country. Well, in this country, we have rights. Now, fortunately for us, we're not at that point where YouTube's going to be like, shut up and take it. But how long until we are? With these progressive activists, many of whom are communists, let's be real, arguing for censorship, it's only a matter of time before YouTube just says, yeah, it's a new rule. You can't make fun of governments. Or they'll argue, well, this phrase is targeting a national origin because it specifically refers to the government. Hey, man, it's only a matter of time. They say when news of Dragonfly leaked in 2018, in a report from The Intercept, Google was criticized by politicians and its own employees for selling out its principles. During a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing in June 2019, the company said it had terminated the project and that it had no plans to launch search in China. Here's an update. They say it was updated with a response from YouTube. So originally, this story didn't mention that YouTube confirmed it. They said people had noticed these things. But then The Verge apparently got a statement, and Ben Smith of the New York Times did as well. He said that Farshad Shadlu, spokesman for YouTube, it appears to be an error in our enforcement systems, and we are investigating. Users can report suspected issues. Okay. You know what? To be fair, I guess technically you can call it an error because it can be user input error because someone sympathetic to the Chinese Communist Party shouldn't have put those words in the filter to have them removed. But then questions come up of, listen, you're never going to convince me someone accidentally was like, oops, I accidentally added these anti-Chinese Communist Party phrases into YouTube. Nah, it was done on purpose. That's my assumption. Somebody did it on purpose. Okay, assuming that's the case, maybe it isn't. Is Google going to do anything to try and weed out those that are doing this? I doubt it, and it's only going to get worse. But maybe it will get, worse in a different way. Check out this story from Newsweek. China is stepping up its preparedness for armed combat. Will spend $178 billion on its military this year. News that we were actually waiting for because there's been an ongoing crisis. Well, I shouldn't say crisis, but yes, when you've had many people arrested at various universities for working for China and lying about it, taking U.S. grant money, doing research, and then giving that information or giving away any information to China, we've got a serious problem. But then you can see what's happening in the South China Sea with Taiwan. With, China now wants to send aircraft carriers. They don't have very powerful ones, but they're doing these strike group missions. A lot of people think that they're either saber rattling by doing these like beach incursion training missions, dumping more money into their armed forces, and then sending these boats. It's either saber rattling like, look, we can do this, we can take what we want, or they're actually preparing to take Taiwan. We see what they're doing in Hong Kong. Okay, they're sweeping in, taking what they want. They're going to crush Hong Kong. They're going to seize it and put it under direct Chinese rule. And maybe after that, then it's Taiwan. China wants to claim this territory. They're pressing in the South China Sea. They claim they own it. They don't. And they're building military bases on the atolls in this area. They're creating artificial islands and putting up military bases. The U.S. has responded with military ships. I think not only are there Chinese interests infiltrating the U.S., and it's very obvious. I mean, they're buying up property like crazy. I think they're in Google. I think they're in Facebook and many other countries. It's called spies. This is what they do. They've been around for a long time. It's funny to me. Let me wrap up that thought. I think we're also getting close to a physical confrontation. It's what we're seeing. One of the things that I find really funny is these people who believe in these conspiracy theories about like the globalists or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, I guess, there are a lot of people who have global interests and want to make money, so they'll, bend over for China. But let's be real, man. It's China. Like, why is the U.S. engaging in these deals that are really bad for it? It's not because of the globalists. It's because people are selling out to China. I don't think I think it's silly to act like there's this big cabal of, demon lizard people, or let's just be real, okay? I don't want to be too overly hyperbolic. But like the Bilderberg group or whatever, it's like, I'm sure many of these people have global financial interests. So yes, they advocate for these things. But if you want to figure out why all these bad things are happening, it's because we've got an adversary. It's called China. They infiltrate our companies. They infiltrate our universities. They're pressing in the South China Sea, and they're destabilizing the region. They're causing problems. They think they're owed these things, and it creates a crisis. I'm sure they have their own point of view, but come on, man. Chinese communism versus American, well, whatever you want to call it, constitutional republic with liberal democratic institutions. We'll call it that. I'm not inclined to believe that China is being forthright about what's really going on. No, I think they're aggressively pushing, expanding, and that's the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing. So drop the conspiracies, because it's right in front of your face, bro. There's no secret underhanded plot from various factions and families. It's just literally we're on the brink of war. Thucydides' trap is real, bro. China is a rising power. They're challenging us. Why do you think Google is censoring these things? Because they're infiltrating various institutions. It's that simple. Or maybe that's not simple. Maybe it's complicated. I'll leave it there. Stick around. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes, and I will see you all shortly.